Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's Tuesday and it has become one of my favorite series that I've been doing this year. And I've had people comment and ask questions, am I going to continue this into the next year? Because I'd love to see that. And you know, I just might. I really might. This is my Tackle It series where I have been going through boxes, bins, and bags and finding things that have been long forgotten. You know, those projects that we started long time ago. Absolutely love them. Worked on them for, I don't know, a length of time and then packed them away for whatever reason. And I'm dragging those out and deciding on what to do with them. And some of them, I'm not going to lie, they have not made the cut. Others, yes, they have made the cut, and I definitely want to finish them. And that's interesting. Okay, so one that did not make the cut, and it's gorgeous, is this. I need to put it on the ball winder and just wind it up. I'm not going to just pull that thing out by hand. It's beautiful. It is an asymmetric scarf. Is, you know, here I got the tail end and there this is such a deep dark burgundy, like a blood red, you know, just really super deep, and it's stunning. I don't feel it anymore, and it looks like I got through the majority of a skein of fingering weight yarn. I'm gonna put this on the ball winder, just haven't done it yet, but this is gonna be repurposed. And then other things have made the cut, like this. Okay, I just dropped my pins. Those are the really sharp ones, so I'm not gonna move my feet. One that did make the cut, and I am working on it, is this beautiful orange shawl. This is stunning. And I put some work on it. I really have. It is getting bigger. If you remember, I was doing some of the other videos and going, hey, how about I stop it right now? It's a cute little bandana shawl. Well, it's definitely grown. You can see how much this has grown if you saw that other video. It has really gotten a lot bigger. Now, it takes a bit of time. This is lace yarn, 875 yards. For 50 grams. That is some serious lace weight yarn. That's not the fingering weight yarn that we call lace weight and everything because we just, you know, it makes us feel better. This is actual lace weight using a size C crochet hook, working on it. This one made the cut. Not everything does. Some other things that have made the cut are sweaters. A lot of sweaters, surprisingly, and I've wanted to work on them. I finished a couple. I finished some sweaters and pieces for my granddaughters. I finished a t-shirt sweater for myself, and it wasn't much more that needed to be done with it. I got about 80% of that one done and finished it, right? I'm like, you probably don't remember. I didn't remember starting it, you know, whatever, but I finished it. And I'm working on another one that is by popular demand. People have been asking, hey, where's Miranda at? What's going on with Miranda? And I've got the photos on where Miranda was sitting and long sleeves. And this was the one that we were deciding, did I want to do the kangaroo pouch? There were options with the sweater. It shows on the front cover, it's a vest. And I'm really good at vests because sleeves are a thing. Sleeves are a thing. So it was a vest with a front pocket pouch, and you could do a hood if you wanted to. You could put the pouch on it if you wanted to. You could put long sleeves on it if you wanted to. And I think I have enough yarn that I wanted to do everything. And then there were some of you that had this, you know, had made comments on just different priorities. So I did the sleeves first just to make sure that I didn't run out of yarn on that. So again, I've got the pictures that show where I've been the last time that you saw it. And we're going to go ahead into a video downstairs. All right, so here's my Miranda sweater. We have not seen her in quite some time. Now that I put her on the mannequin, holy cow, those sleeves look long. Do we see these? Do we see how long those sleeves are? We'll have to do a try on for this one and to go ahead and continue. I can always take off a couple rows or just leave it, who knows. And then this is right here. I've got this held. That's on live stitches right here. Well, they're whatever. The idea is I'd come back, pick up those stitches along this line here, and then continue on with this kind of a broken rib, almost looking like a cable. It's not, it's a mock cable. And then come down with that and make a kangaroo pouch. That is the goal on that. I'm going to do a try on test, see what hubby says, and I don't know. I wanted the pouch. I wanted the hood. Yes, this has a hood option. I wanted all of it. And at this point, unfortunately, I think I'm wanting to pull that back. And that's where I found it in this sweater right here is 8-10 years ago. I think something along that line. This sweater's been in a bin for quite some time. And I found it at this point. And then I put this on the cable and then started knitting down here and I did the sleeves. So I guess I get to just rip it back to where I was. Yeah, because here's the marker. That's where I was. And that's exactly what I was doing. And I think I'm going to have to rip it back to there. And I have since decided I don't want the pouch. We'll do a try on test and see how well it fits, but I don't think I want that pouch. All right, so there we have it. That is where I'm at, the decision on what to do. And how is that going to look on me? What's going on with this beautiful thing? So decided to go back downstairs and try the sweater on just to see where I'm at. All right, so here's my little try on with the Miranda sweater. Like the way that it fits. Man, I was aggressive with those sleeves. I'm telling you, that is okay. Those are long. Yeah, I'm used to short sleeves. So there we have it. I wanted to make those super long. And this is warm, beautiful, comfortable. I can always rip out a couple of rows. It's not a big deal if I decide I don't like it. Decision making was, ooh, here, got to come closer so you can see it. There's this fake ribbing kind of a thing down the front. And then possible to a kangaroo pouch right down here. I've got to pull out this much. I don't think I'm going to do that kangaroo pouch. I've got to pull that out and then continue on. I like the way that it fits. I like all the other stuff. It feels like an absolute warm hug. That's where I'm at with this. Back to the drawing board. Look at this. Look at that. I got to pull up to there. Yeah, see? I got it on holders, but I got to pull back that far. That's where I first started with this thing. This is where I first started. This was my first project. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just beating things up down here. But I'm going to put it back on the mannequin so then you can see that. We'll discuss it a little bit. But yeah, I think it's got to be coming out. And these sleeves are long. Look at that. Look, it's like all rolled up and everything. I didn't think they were going to be long enough. I told you, I put on some seriously long sleeves when I want long sleeves. This is a hug. This is nice. This is long enough that if I would have put a hole right here, I could have done the whole thumb thingy. Yeah, I could have easily done that with these. That would have been nice. Didn't think about it. Didn't do that. I mean, I can always rip it back out and try it again if I want to. Don't know. Anyway, that's what I've got. Crazy. So there we have it. That's what I've got going on with my sweater. Oh my goodness. And it's not too terribly much to do, but I tried it on and I asked my husband and everything. It's like, what do you think, sweetie? Should I do the hood? Or should I do all this other stuff? He said, I can make a decision on the hood later. I don't have to do that one now, one way or the other. But he agreed with me. Actually, he's kind of saying that too, is maybe don't go with the kangaroo pouch because I originally started this thing in 2017. I had to go back and everything, and I looked at when I got the pattern, 8 years ago. So I was smaller 8 years ago. I had weight requirements because of the military 8 years ago. I don't have those weight requirements any longer, and I may have taken advantage and kind of filled out my clothing, if you know what I mean. And had to get more clothing because the clothing I had, it wasn't happening. So making that, and surprisingly when I looked at the numbers, I was making a medium. Now, did I do gauge on that? Did I do any of that stuff? I have no idea. That was 8 years ago. So it's form-fitting. Now, is it supposed to be form-fitting? Not really, but it's form-fitting on me. All right, so after doing the try-on test and everything, back on the mannequin, look at this. The sleeves, they're too long. I may take out a couple rounds on that. They are definitely too long. Or pull it back. You know, the other thing I could do, as we saw on the try-on, is I could pull back all of that ribbing, put yarn over in here, you know, make the little hole and everything, and then make that to where I can put my thumb through and leave that and kind of go back up and leave it at that length. And that would be kind of nice too. But I think as is, it's a little bit too long, even for me, just a bit too long. I think with it being as form-fitting as it is, because I started this when I was not as full-figured. That's a good way to put it. So when I was not as full-figured, I definitely wanted to do that pouch. But being it is already a snug sweater, I don't think that pouch is going to do me any favors. So the pouch is going to have to go, and I'm going to have to rip that out. So that's where we're at. We are going backwards on the Miranda sweater for the Tackle It project. Well, kind of both, back and forth, because if the decision's been made, it will go a little bit quicker at that point. Yeah, there we go. Got to look at the positives. But everything, whether it's, pulling a little bit back, putting it back in, it is still positive. It is still going to be progress, and it will be absolutely lovely. And this feels like a hug. It is a dreamy, dreamy hug. So there we are. That's it. And I grabbed the yarn winder and put that on the yarn winder, and I just started pulling that out. And I went all the way up to where I pulled it out of the bin, from where it was tucked away that many years ago. So ripped all of that out. Well, the other thing that I realized is it's on size 6 needles. Okay, well, that doesn't seem right. That does not seem right. Sometime from when I started working on this with everybody and sitting it back from the last time that you saw it, I needed my size 8 needles. So I took them and I replaced it with size 6 needles. I set myself up for some serious failure. Was the sweater done in 6s? Yeah. The cuffs, the bands were in 6s, the rest of it's 8s. So I had that on the body in size 6. So I was totally setting myself up for failure. So not only did I pull all that out, I put the 6s back on. Oh, that was not a pretty thing. So I'm good. I got that. And I decided I'm going to work on it. I'm going to go for it. All right. So try on time again. And I have taken this and shrunk the sleeves down quite a bit. They were pulling them down flat to where they actually went like this. They were to there, and it was a bit too much. So I ripped all of that out. I made this shorter, I think like 10, 12 rows as opposed to 15. I shrunk that quite a bit. And I also made the cuff tighter, liking that. I really like the way that this feels. Let's go ahead and move this down a little bit so we can see here. So I need to go down farther. I think down to about there. I've got another couple inches. I think it's going to need to be more than just the band. And what I did is I pulled back all of that stuff. I did. I don't have the pouch on it. It's so much nicer. This is the size medium. I am not a size medium, so it is form-fitting. I believe it's supposed to have some more positive ease. It's got not positive ease. So there we have it. Let's see if we can get that bottom where you can see that design. This goes down and like that, and that would normally be a pouch, like kangaroo pouch you can put your hands in. Definitely didn't want that. Loving the way this is looking. I like the way that the color is, and I have a bunch of ends that need to be woven in. So I finished off the ball that was attached to there, cut off the balls that were extra for the arms. These are just my markers, by the way. And now I just have to make that length a little bit longer and figure out what's going on. So really happy with this progress on the Miranda sweater. Just wonderful. So with all of those camera shots downstairs, everything else, you know where this is going, don't you? Yeah, my Tackle It Tuesday, I finished something. Did I finish it the way that we talked about it? No, I didn't. And then I went outside and I was going to do a little bit of a video and show that. And, hubby was doing something else, so he couldn't hold the camera for me. So I had the camera and I'm holding it like this and everything. And I'm looking, the wind was horrendous. So when I went to go ahead and play that back, I was going to insert that in here too, because it's daylight still. It's like, oh my gosh, I finally got it done. And I'm going to insert that. It was that wind was going. I might put parts of the video in and you're hearing me talk as opposed to you're hearing this and watching the other video. We'll see on that, so you can't hear all the wind, but wow, that was whipping up. Yes, I have finished the Miranda sweater in all of its glory, It is a massive, massive hug. That thing is stunning. The fake cable, mock cable, whatever you want to call that, in the center looks great. Now, I know when I started this yarn, when I started this sweater, this yarn was not the appropriate choice. I get that. It is extremely busy, especially when you have something in the center. And like I said, this is supposed to look like a mock cable. It's not a cable. It's just some kind of broken ribs. You do a little twist there, but it's not really a cable. And something like this, it would be better in a softer, if you're going to use multiple colors, maybe more of a speckle, but not a heavy speckle, a light speckle. I mean, this is, look at the back of that. That is a seriously busy yarn. Love it. But I knew that. I knew that when I started it. I knew you would lose some of the pattern, but you can see a texture, you can see a difference, even if you don't know what that is in the center, that it is a difference. So I still got the effect that I wanted. I still got to work with this yarn that I obviously fell in love with and I drooled over 2017. Holy cow. And you know, I have something. It is now finally finished. And like my husband said, I do have the yarn. I have a full skein of the yarn, one, maybe two skeins, I'm not positive, might be two skeins of the yarn that I can wind up and I can put the hood on it if I choose to. But I'm actually comfortable with it as is. It's stunning. It's absolutely lovely. I'm not upset with the lack of the pouch. I mean, I really wanted the pouch, but with as form-fitting as this is, and look, I even put waist shaping in there. See that? I did some waist shaping. I mean, I'm a big girl, but I'm a full-figured big girl, so I'm putting my waist shaping in there. So, you know, I did that, and putting that extra layer of fabric on there, as much as I wanted that pouch, wouldn't do me any favors. And sometimes we just have to realize that. And maybe the pockets were more important than any of the other stuff, and that's a reality too. So I could have done that easily, but I have a finished project. It's done. I have something done. This is also in my Magnificent 7 series, which I really do need to do another photo of all the sweaters, don't I? Because doesn't this make 4? Now, the brown one, I really do want to go back and fix the sleeves. I mean, I fixed the sleeves on this one, so why can't I do it on the brown? I shrunk these on the brown one. I want to make them longer because I found more yarn. But on this one, I did have to shrink the sleeves. And when I did that, I pulled back because I had all those, remember that they had a pink thread on one side and a green thread on the other, just because it's a contrasting. And each time I'd looped it around stitches, it was like every row I did my decreases. That way I was able to make sure that both of my sleeves were the same. So I pulled that back to the same spot. You know, it was kind of like, here's all my ribbing, and I pulled it back like that. Then I also decreased down to 36 stitches. I had 40 something previously, and it was a little bit too loose. Now this fits snugly. It goes all the way where it should. It's not too long. It's not that in between where it's like, hey, if it's right here, then it's just too short. It's not quite a 3/4 length. It's too long for 3/4, and it's too short for your wrist, kind of like my brown sweater. That type of a thing. So I wanted to make sure that I did this right. I had the yarn, I had the time. It has been sitting since 2017. And it's done. So if you have something that you're working on, or not, because I wasn't working on this. I was totally not working on this. But if you have something, if you go digging through some bags and some bins and you find something, it's okay. Don't kick yourself going, oh my gosh, I wasted all that time. Here's the money and the materials. Here's everything else. And I can tell you, 7 years ago, buying this, what is this? Is this Malabrigo? That was... it's still an investment, but I mean, it was a very big investment way back in the day. And I think you know what I'm talking about. We're all in different economic places in our life and everything, because we still had kids at home, right? And we don't have the kids at home any longer. So that makes a little bit of a difference on the income. We know where we're going with that. So this was quite the investment. And to be able to have this done, and you know what's going to happen? At the end of this year, when we get back into cold season again, I'm going to have a gorgeous new wardrobe of all these different sweaters. And what I'll probably have to do is do like a week or so, or however long I can. And I've done that before, but however long I can, it's like, hey, this is sweater number 1. And then here's all the details on it, right? This is handmade. This is what this is. This is when I did this. And see how many days I can go through with that. Is having this many getting done. Finish the boho sweater, the brown sweater. The boho sweater hasn't been worn yet because I still haven't woven in the ends and it's too warm. And this one and the brown sweater, those are all 3 mine. The green one I'm going to be sending off to somebody smaller. I didn't make that one for me. But I have 3 personal brand new sweaters that I get to add to my wardrobe. And I know I've got more things in my room. Yeah, they're hung up. They're hung up on the coat rack thing over there. They're nice and neat. They're no longer on the floor in bags and boxes and bins. They're actually hung up. So that is a lot nicer. But wow, what a sense of accomplishment. What projects are you guys working on? And you know, your long-standing whip can be, everyone's different. Your long-standing whip might only be 1 or 2 months old. Maybe you're one of the people that does something from start to finish, and that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So maybe your thing is, I set it down a month or 2 ago and I just don't have the drive to pick it up. Well, here's your invitation. You can do it. And it could be your thing is 2017 or longer, because I've gotten some comments from some of you that you've got projects longer than what my longest standing project was that I found, which was 19 years, and finished it this year. So whatever it happens to be, now granted, we're talking a lot about yarn things. Yeah, because yarn is really what excites, you can tell, it excites me. Yarn and knitting and crocheting, all the things that you can do with that. But some of the tackling can be like me working on cleaning my room. Maybe you're in the same situation where you might want to straighten up just a little bit. I'm not saying go all hog wild and everything and get down on your hands and knees and deep clean and whatever else, but just kind of make it to where it's not a safety hazard to walk in and sit in your chair, which like it was for me, right? But that can be your tackling it. It doesn't have to be 100% yarn. What's your thing? Now, for me, it's all crafting related, but what's your thing that you've been putting off? I've done a lot of things in this this month, not even this last month. I've done a lot of things in this month that I have put off for months and months and months. I had sent out packages that I had promised to the members of my channel, which were wonderful. I made hats last year, and I had promised, I collected the addresses. I had promised members to my channel I would send them out a hat, and I collected all their addresses, and I packed all the packages. I did, and didn't mail them, did not mail them, did not forget. So all of those just got mailed, and they're in, the hands that they needed to go to. I had 10 packages, and I was able to do that, but I put it off forever. Why? I finally went and got a post office box. 2 years in the channel, people have asked me, hey, do you have a post office box? We'd like to send you a card. I mean, August, next month is my birthday, right? My birth month and everything. People are like, we would like to send you a card. Do you have a P.O. box? Do now. Only it took me 2 years. It was really easy. Do you know it really didn't take that much time? It took me 2 years of procrastination, though. Yes, it did. It sure did. So whatever your thing is, it's okay. You can pick it up. You can work on it. Turn over that new leaf and see what you can get accomplished. This month for me has been absolutely amazing of doing the things that I didn't want to do. Like number 1 being cleaning my room. I'm just saying, I did not want to do that. I know you guys have heard that tons and tons because it's true. I'm not exaggerating. I did not want to clean my room. And there are different projects that I just don't want to work on, and I've been picking them up anyway. And it's kind of like a defiant power. Like, you're not the boss of me. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. You got to say it in a 2-year-old voice and just little ball up your fists and everything and defiant. You're not the boss of me. And then you can do it. There, that's where I'm at, and I'm just doing it. And yeah, it's exciting. It is exciting to take charge of some of these things. It is exciting to get some of these things off my plate, 100%. And this wasn't bothering me that it was here, but it just took 2 days. I had gotten it that close where it was literally just 2 days of playing on it, just 2 days of, okay, how about you sit down and concentrate? I think if I went around and worked on some of the other things, in 2 days, I could get a lot done. I can't get this done in 2 days. I can tell you that right now. I could work on this 24/7 and it's going to take me more than 2 days. But point is, you could do something like that. You could join me in this whole progress thing or what have you, and we can do stuff together. And I want to hear your stories. Oh my gosh. I want to hear what you guys are doing, because it makes me feel better that some of the stuff that I've been procrastinating on, we can kind of laugh at each other's silly stories. I mean, that's really it. Like, really? That's you procrastinate on that for how long? How many months have I shown you this? How many months? Literally months. And it just took me 2 days to finish it. Why? That's what I'm talking about. So I want to hear your stories too. I want to hear your stuff too and everything. And what was the thing that was just over your head that you didn't want to touch, that for whatever reason? Okay, let's not start about the dragon blanket, because we know, yeah, the dragon hasn't been touched, and that thing has been over my head since pretty much the beginning of the channel. So we know that has to get done. I don't think I can do it this week, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm telling you, I'm getting there. I'm pushing myself. I'm getting there, right? You know, just send a little love and encouragement, okay? Send a little love and encouragement if you want to see that dragon done. Whew, that dragon, man, I'm telling you, I got heart palpitations on that one. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I'm going to take this as a win, as a massive high, as a big project finish. That is just stunning. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you guys again later. Bye-bye.